All right, you guys can hear me now. Oh my goodness, there we go. All right. My mic mixer was not open, so let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear now. Okay. I guess I didn't check everything when we went live. Make sure you guys hit the like button. How is everybody doing this evening? All right. How is everybody doing this evening? Let me know if you can hear me now. I think oh, also I hear an echo. Do I need to mute my Yep, I need to mute myself. Okay, it says you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, sounds good now. Brad's Custom Boards, thank you. I know I'm on slight delay as well. Good evening, everybody. Hey, Ken, you're all good, man. I think you said that last week, so you are all good, man. Also, Layer, I answered your question. It has been a fantastic week as always. We've had lots of support, on the channel as far as like some of the news videos, the Bamboo Lab videos I did. I think one of them's at like 20,000. Very cool, very cool. How is everybody doing this evening? Let's see here. All clear sounds good. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. 110 in Mesa. Yeah, I know. It's been crazy. This summer has been scorching down here, guys. Like I just got my electric bill. It is the highest so far this year. And when you're running printers, you're running mini split, and honestly, mine's not as high as a lot of people's still. So, yeah. Anyway, and this is something, guys, I think we're gonna start doing every single Friday night. Time adjustments, of course, maybe. I know it's kind of late on a Friday night, but I don't know how this time works for everybody. We'll see. I know last Saturday we were doing a stream. We hit 90 viewers at one point, which is more than a lot of the other channels, but I feel like it is hot, but not as hot as the other summers. Um, I don't know. This one, maybe it's just because like I'm tired of the heat now. This it's been kind of torturous. Honestly. Like the Phoenix heat this year has been I don't know. I don't know if I'm just like over it or what. But it is definitely pretty hot as far as everything. So, all right, so let's talk. There's a few things I want to talk about tonight too, Okay? What how is everyone feeling about this Bond Index? What their solution was? If you guys are not caught up, we can make you caught up. You know what I'm saying? Um, so two air conditioners in the garage, but it is, and you have 15 printers. Yeah, I just got an 18K mini split or 18K BTU. So it's not anything. I don't have anything crazy going on, but it is what it is. So, but um, $15 is a scam. Is that in regards to the index? Is that what we're thinking, guys? Like the index stuff is honestly, um, at least to me, it is very baffling that it's even being defended. Personally, like it's not even enough. They weren't even refunding enough to give everybody like nozzles, hardened steel nozzles, let alone nozzles. Period. They didn't even like. Uh, yeah, it is not a very good solution in my honest opinion. And I know if you're in the EU, you have more benefits as far as like refunds and stuff. But to disassemble a Core One with the index already assembled is just a pain in itself. And again, I just don't know how their solution can really be defended, especially when they're announcing that they're working with companies to get hardened steel nozzles, which are probably going to cost like double the price of regular nozzles. But I guess We shall find out. But how's everybody this evening? Again, like, welcoming in everybody. This is where we just chill. We talk about everything. I think last week or the last few times we were talking about barbecue, we were talking about some of those Bamboo Lab patents. This is just a night where we chill, we talk. You guys have access to me. I answer every question as long as I can in the chat. So if you guys have any questions for me, definitely put them down below, or down below in the chat. I do my best. A lot of a lot of regulars in here as far as everybody. And I think this is just a nice way to interact with my audience. You guys are the ones that support. You guys are the ones that essentially are giving me the AdSense on YouTube, things like that, giving me the opportunity. So while I'm never going to say really like, I owe you guys, but you guys help me uh get where I am, and I appreciate the support, and I feel like I can do a little bit by doing some more live streams and stuff. So I'm planning on every Friday where I just make myself available for an hour or two, and we stream until I'm an old man and have to go to sleep. So yeah, I mean, Fridays should work pretty good. We'll see. Maybe we'll adjust it to like Saturday mornings or something. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say so far. So if you guys have any topics that you guys would like to discuss this evening, let me know. Definitely, for sure. Let me know and we can talk about it. We can give you my thoughts. We've talked a lot about the Infomec MX in the last few weeks. We've talked a lot about Bamboo Lab and what Bamboo Lab is doing next. I guess we haven't really talked too much about the Prusa index situation, but I think a lot of you guys know my thoughts, and I think a lot of you guys have very similar thoughts that look like the machines are expensive. They're not as consumer friendly. Like it's definitely a situation that's going on there, and I just think that with how everything's being handled overall, it makes it harder and harder to justify even picking up the Core One or the Index in itself. But again, as Layer kind of says, fanboys will be fanboys. You pick up the best machine for you. If it's your tool for the job, by all means, pick it up. It's just not one for me personally as it stands. Okay. Infomec has been showing off some more images in their Facebook group, if that's something that interests you as well. There's been a lot like kind of happening in the 3D print space. I'm if it's something if it's something that you guys are interested in, I think I want to make another video, a really kind of addressing this situation when it comes to pre-orders. Like it's just there's not only content creators but people commenting on videos that Bamboo Lab has fallen behind when technically, other than the Prusa XL, other than the Snapmaker U1, and other than the FlashForge Creator 5, there really isn't a tool changer on the market you can go and buy. And outside of the Prusa XL, the H2C has been the only nozzle changer on the market since November. And if you want a nozzle changer or a tool changer over 300 cubed, it's really the only one outside of the Prusa XL, but even then, if you get a fully decked out Prusa XL, it's 5 tool heads, and you can almost get 2 Bamboo Lab H2Cs. Granted, they're not fully decked out, but if you even fully decked out an X2C or a H2C, you'd still save some money. So it's just wild to me that people continue to, I don't know. What do you think about Bamboo Lab tossing away the Vortex system and copying the Index system? I don't necessarily think it's copying the Index system, because they're still going to be using their Vortex nozzles. This is one thing I struggle with is that while Bondtech might have patented some sort of induction heating, if they couldn't actually implement it, I don't know that it's copying. You've seen things like their coils and the copper. There's some things that possibly are happening with QC there. So I wouldn't say that they copied them. I would say they took an idea and they kind of made it better, which if you think that's copying, I could see that. I've alluded to this too, where just because someone made a four-door car doesn't mean that the next four-door car is always just a copycat, right? Sometimes if the best solution is the solution, you're going to get people who make products similar or they kind of copycat or just kind of further develop. Apple is a prime example, and I know Bamboo Lab always gets compared to Apple, but Apple lets the Android phones usually implement a feature, and then what they'll do is they'll refine it. And then they'll add it to the iPhone ecosystem. For the longest time, you couldn't even set your own wallpaper on an iPhone or an iPod Touch. So I think that's the route that they kind of went with this. They waited for the market to develop. So gonna get read through the trick. Can we all request the Snapmaker to put a light bulb on off icon on the home screen of the U1? Yeah. I always control it if I'm monitoring it from the phone, so that part isn't as huge of a deal. But when I turn off the lights in my garage, it's pitch black. So 100% I could see how that's like. Part is just re-racking the Vortex system. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Thoughts on Snapmaker? Definitely seem like they knocked out of the park with the U1. Definitely above satisfactory on promise to delivery. Looking forward to the U1 Max or Pro, 6 plus tools, and 300. Yes, I agree. I think if the Snapmaker, if they do not come out with a bigger version of the U1, I think it's business malpractice at that point. They know everybody wants it. What will be interesting to me is if Snapmaker can continue to keep the price down when they're delivering full tool heads and not just swapping out the tool. So that's the part that I would also like to see them improve on with the next version of the U1, or like if the U1 Max is the same thing but bigger, I'm kind of okay with it. I still don't know that the U1 has hit it at the park with like quality. I still think like my single nozzle Bamboo Lab machines do have better quality on a consistent basis. However, as far as like color changing, of course, it's going to be way better. But I need to try out Orca and some of the profiles with PLA they have, and I think I might just need to slow it down. I think the Snapmaker U1 default stuff is probably a little bit too fast, but that's where I'm just wondering if Snapmaker continues with the full tool head, because it is kind of hard to swap out like those full nozzle assemblies. I'm not saying it's hard, but in the world today where everybody's lazy, including myself, I would rather a quick swap system. I don't know about how everyone feels about that. But that's me personally. But it'd be foolish to think that Snapmaker's not coming out with one. I just don't know if it's going to be this year or next year or what it's going to be. But 270 build plate size is okay. I feel like I wasn't on the my bad. I hit the mic. I wasn't on the train where like I needed something over 300, but now the more and more I've been printing like prop stuff, I kind of want everything over 300, even if I don't necessarily need it. Can we all request FlashForge make a power filament loader for the C5 Pro? Yeah, that's one thing where I think to keep the cost down, that's one of the things. Um, Yeah, I think that's where they definitely cut some cost. I mean, you got to think about it too. This is FlashForge's biggest machine at 256. So we're lucky that it even hit 256 build plate. The H2C nozzles are induction heating. Bondtech didn't invent induction heating. Yes, but induction heating is like, right, you have induction stovetops. Like induction heating is nothing new. It's just with a 3D printer nozzle. It's kind of new. Where I I honestly, if like that went and they were trying to protect that patent, I would be interested to see if that would actually hold up, because it's just induction heating a metal 3D printer nozzle. As a CNC machine engineer, we always say building a better mousetrap. Yeah, see, like there's always a better way to do something, even now. There's a better way to do things right now, right? Like with every single thing, there's a better way for this mic stand to function. There's a better mic on the market. There is a better laptop. Like, there's a better way to do everything. Otherwise, we wouldn't get generation after generation of all these different machines. And yeah, it's just some people start from a higher basis than others, which I don't yeah, I don't know. I just recently heard of the MakerTech Pro 5 Ultra. It's actually pretty sweet. What is that? I don't know what you're talking about. MakerTech Pro Forge Ultra. Oh, actually, I think I did see this one, but it's like crazy expensive, right? Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty expensive. Okay, so I recently I read that. I have wondered if layer changes with tool changers are noticeable. Not really because of the prime tower. So you would be pretty surprised. RV bird, is that what it says? I wouldn't say anything. It's not. I would say a normal color change is more noticeable than a tool changer. And I've seen really good things out of the H2C, so I suspect that's not any different. L4 looks nice. Their transparency seems good so far. I, I don't really know much. I'm assuming you're talking about light make, the light make one. Um, I don't know. I it just uh, okay. So here's my thing: is like with the light make, to me, it always sends off red flags to me when you start getting sponsored videos without the printer. So that's the only thing that I'm leery about right now. And that the Peoply Magneto wasn't necessarily good. Apparently. I haven't used it, but that's what people have said. Do you think the new L8, is that what you're saying? I don't see how Creality is going to fix i8, the Spark. Okay, so funny story on that. So in my 3D printing news, you guys probably noticed like the little, if you watched it all the way, you noticed the little dig I did at Creality and the i8. They actually sent me an email the night prior asking if I would be interested in the i8 as far as, is it the i8 or Spark i8 or whatever, the Spark 8. But then I was like, wait, I thought they literally just came out with a printer. Like I was confused as to like why, like it had only been like 7 months, and I'm like, "That just doesn't make sense to me." And first off, if you're going to hit me up, I would much rather be testing the Cleatech, not this Bedslinger 3D printer. Like, that's not something I'm just going to show off, because if you notice with Creality, most of the time, the Bedslinger 3D printers aren't really reviews, they're just like it's like UGC content. Like you're just creating an ad for them that they can push out. I've noticed that Creality is actually sponsoring, not sponsoring, but they're, I don't know what you would call it. They're promoting YouTube videos that simply talk about the Clique Tech in a positive way. And that's where I had some comments about Creality and what they're doing as far as like their business. Like, I just don't see how that's responsible ad spend, and why I thought they were losing a lot of money when you have a video about the Spark i7 doing like 250,000 views, but like a Bamboo Lab printer doesn't even do 250,000 views sometimes. That's way off. Like Bamboo Lab is way more popular right now than Creality. Maybe not worldwide in some areas. Like I think a lot of people know the Creality name, but as far as YouTube viewership, that's where I start to throw up like red flags. I look at the like ratios. If you guys don't know, on YouTube, if a video has not been promoted, typically the like ratio is every 1,000 views, you have about 30 to 40 likes. And so that's an easy way to tell if a video has been promoted, it has like 100 likes and 100,000 views, then it was promoted usually. Anyway, I went on a long rant about Creality and their practices, but uh, I just could not get on board. You literally just released a printer in January. You just came out with the Spark Nano. I was like, what is going on? That's not something I wanted to support. Like period. Um Why are we letting Snapmaker charge 150 for the top cover with two fans? A little overpriced, in my opinion. I agree, but what do you think about the BQ one? They sent it to me and I have yet to open it. They said it just showed up at my house. Have you ever used Polymaker's Dissolve PVA? I came across and done full prints, not just supports that was used for fiberglass molds, then soaked them in the mold and it all dissolved. Game changer. I have not. Is it expensive? I usually sand my prints, so I don't really have that. I respect that. They said beta machines go out soon before Kickstarter launches, and my videos will be out from those users at the Kickstarter launches. So wait, I think that was about the L4. Yeah, J man. I'm just very leery. I don't think Lightmake has ended up in my inbox, but I'm very leery regardless when it comes to Kickstarters on my channel. I just would feel really bad if people bought into Kickstarters and it just wasn't good. So anytime a company lets me like anytime a company emails me, of course I'll have my fee, right? I'm not going to hide from that I charge a fee if you want a sponsored video. But I'm still gonna let people know like if there's issues. So that's where it's like my contracts need to say, look, I have free range to say whatever I want. And so for example, I will be working with like Hey Gears. They say like, hey, look, say whatever you want. We're only going to change factual information, for example. Like, so if I say a printer wasn't capable of doing something, but it actually is, and they show me it is, then yeah, I would change that, right? But yeah. Uh, But okay, so that's what I was talking about. The Kickstarter stuff, I'm just very careful about Kickstarters and I I don't know. You guys should let me know in the comments what you guys think about like Kickstarters and how I should go about if a company approaches me for a Kickstarter, what you guys would be comfortable with, what makes sense because I just don't want to do like ads. Like, we're saying buy this machine or maybe I'll just not put affiliates in that stuff. So that way it's a little bit more neutral because affiliates is a huge thing when it comes to those Kickstarters. Like the Hey Gears affiliate, for example, if you were simply getting like 5%, which is it can be lower, it can be high. That's about average. Like that's a lot of money, like for a one sale. So let me know what you guys think the best way to approach that stuff would be if you have any comments on that. Let me go back up. I'm missing some messages because I'm going on rants. I think these 3D print companies need to not do these Kickstarters without an actual machine to show. Rendered photos and fake photos should not be okay. I agree. Uh, Wise by Design. Yeah, I had to refresh my own on this side too. It was a little bit weird that the live just didn't update by itself, but I think we're good now. Um, I get the need to crowdfund, but if they can't make one, why would we believe they can deliver in mass? And that's my worry for some of these companies is that I just don't know when they hit production and it's like a full blown production scale. How like are they going to run into manufacturing issues? Is it going to be delayed? I'm assuming you'll always get your machines, but like, do you guys remember the Yumi Kickstarter? I don't know if anyone's ever gotten that 3D printer. So yeah. Where was I at? Going back up. As we get more people in these streams, on if I'm gonna consistently do this, sometimes I might not be able to keep up with the chat, but I do try to read every single thing. More tech is always a positive from Millen 3D Studio. I agree. That's why I started the 3D printing news. I love just seeing the new tech. Uh, that light make looks pretty awesome. Time will tell. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Yep, that's why I do the news. I just like tech, bro. Or broskies. I ran a 28-hour 1.3 PET G print on the U1 with the BQ top hat held 55-degree chamber chamber temp. Was pretty pressed. That's pretty cool. What about the K2 SE? Dude, I've lost track of all the Creality machines. Look, man, go make your money. Hey, I know a lot of people appreciate the go make your money. I just want to do it a little bit more like, yeah, I would feel bad, but at the same time, you guys know I can't do content all the time for free. You know, AdSense is not going to pay all the bills. So of course we're going to have sponsored content. The only one I have upcoming as of right now is Hay Gears next month. But they've been pretty cool so far. And I've heard good things about their machines, you know, and they're more open now with their resin. And, you know, if they weren't open with their resin, I'd be a little bit more leery, but it turns out it's not actually that big of a deal now. But yeah, of course, you're going to definitely see more sponsor content if it makes sense, right? As far as viewership. Uh, do you have any recommendations on the Solval 8 Max? Wanting to see it make stuff like a big droid parts like R2D2 domes. Um, the uh, the Solval 8 Max, is that the 400 by 400 one, or I'm sorry, I'm really bad with some of the older machines. I think that's the huge Solval one. The only thing, if you're doing Pet G, it might be okay, but I do think that people have some trouble with the 8 Max sometimes. Yes, that is the one I'm thinking about. I do think that it's hit or miss. It's 500 by 500 with the enclosure kit, 500 by 500 by 450. I haven't used one, so I would hate to give you my recommendation on anything like that, but yeah. Anyway, the tech Kickstarters carry so much risk. Yeah, man, I agree. And it's not just the hardware, it's also the software. The software is the bigger risk. That's fair. I appreciate creators like that. They don't buy purely positive reviews. It's like really nothing negative to say. Yeah, man, like every machine's gonna have something negative. It's how nitpicky you want to be. And then like, are you okay ignoring the nitpicky stuff, right? Uh, there's nothing wrong with advertising for a company as long as you're not lying. Yes, I would agree. It's also, what do you consider lying? Like purposely not saying stuff? Is that also lying? Right? Yeah, for sure. As long as your views. Yep, I appreciate it. Any news on the Spark XI8? Yes. I talked about that a little bit earlier where uh I don't know. Like it just bugs me that they're coming out with a new one so soon. I wish they just would have waited till January or something to put that out. But I do know I don't even know. Look, I'm not getting the machine. I don't want to work with Creality on this machine. Like so you should see it by the end of Q3, if you know what I mean. Uh The Yumi's thing was shorter retractions for the A1, less waste, faster color, but everyone has done that, and Yumi is still showing off videos of half-built printers. Dude, Yumi is something else. The guy doesn't even seem like nice about it, right? Like he doesn't even seem like he seems kind of rude about it based on like the videos I've seen. Like that is no way to run a company. Using teaching text contracts so you have the complete control of your content. Yeah, I definitely use. Well, I don't use his contract, but I have followed a lot of the same things myself when it comes to like that sort of contract. I have had companies slash out line after line after line, and sometimes it results in us going our separate ways. Aurora Tech is great. On the SVO8 Max, Z heights drop by 50 millimeters with enclosure. Yes, withholding information is lying. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Lying by omission, 100%. You know they rush their printers out. Yeah, dude, that's why I'm not touching it. Have to be fair, Bamboo did the same with their H2 series. What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what you're referring to on the H2 series. All right, we're finally caught up with the chat. Get some water. Yeah, and see, this is one of the reasons I avoid TikTok as much. And you know, I really should do TikTok because it's another source of revenue potentially, but I don't like to do the TikTok shop where these guys are like, "Oh yeah, this printer is better than this," or "Bamboo's in trouble. We got a sale on the Centauri Carbon 2 here." I just don't like that stuff. Like if I genuinely use a product, one sure, like I'll do TikTok shop, like, but I have yet to post a TikTok shop video. Um, I don't know. I like YouTube. You can get your point across better with long format. Obviously, you get paid for views. Yeah. I mean, like I just don't. I don't know. Last Creality I purchased was the Ender 5 Max. It wasn't too bad, but outside of PLA, it was kind of a dud. Ended up selling it. Yeah, and that's where like Creality, not only a guy that I work with at work had the Ender 5 Max, and um, he had the Ender 5 Max, and he had really bad trouble with it. And then he bought a Neptune 4, and then that thing died on him within a year. So I told him, I was like, man, you just gotta buy an H2S, dude. Like I you just gotta buy an H2S. And then finally he's like, okay, okay. So he's saving for the H2S right now because all of his stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Centauri Carbon 2 combo versus Cobra S1. I would go with the Centauri Carbon 2. The prints look a little better. When I had the Cobra S1, it just hasn't been updated yet, as far as I know, and it had a lot of people suffered from taco beds on the S1, and that was the same thing I had, but yeah. I don't do TikTok or any shorts. Yeah, shorts though, if you're an aspiring content creator, shorts are a good way to get people to sub to your channel or see your content and then drive them to your longs. So originally when I started, it was building the battle droid, and so I did a lot of videos on that. So a lot of people would start to see it. They were looking forward to the long form, and yeah, so I do think shorts are a good way to grow, but yeah. Ronnie Smith i8 seems amazing, but what's different from the i8 than like the Cobra X? So it's like it already kind of exists. Wasn't there a patent for a dual nozzle A1 mini toolhead? Yes, and I was thinking about this today. So patents don't always mean products exist. However, they called it the A2L, but are they still going to go back and refresh the A1? They did the A2L, which is, yeah, it's larger, but it kind of makes me wonder if they're going to actually refresh the A1 and add two nozzles still to it, or two tool heads. And so like they still sell the A1 as a flagship, so maybe that's coming like next year. I don't know. But it also doesn't mean that they're going to come out with it. It's a budget machine. I have my K2s running in my garage in this Arizona heat. LOL, IDK how, but they are working like a champ. What are you printing? Are you printing PET G? It might be fine then. Or PLA. Then I would I mean, some machines they're bad with heat creep and some of them are fine. Any experience with the S1 Max? Dave does stuff having some terrible experience. Okay, so S1 Max, I do have a review on my channel. I unfortunately like I didn't show it off as like people got upset that the machine wasn't sitting next to me like when I did the review, and I just did a lot talking about it and showing the print, which looking back of it, regrettably I did it that way, but I had the machine, I was using it, and honestly, it was fine. I did sell it to someone locally. Um, the only reason I sold it was really because I like the Bamboo Lab ecosystem and I would rather have another H2S. But I know not everyone's budget can like afford to buy an H2S. It was a pretty solid machine when I had it. I had no complaints other than like I don't like the deep throat nozzles because mine clogged and I couldn't fix it. It was literally just dead. That was it. But overall, pretty positive for the most part. But also, any cubic slicer is definitely needs some work. Um, I was waiting to see an action that claim is better than tool changers. Oh, I doubt it. It's Creality. They're gonna claim anything they want. The A1 Mini did so well. I think they have to refresh it. The A1 Mini is so solid for like what it is. But like, would it lose? Would the A1 Mini lose some of its lust if you added another tool head to it and made it more expensive by like $50? It might. I have two H2Cs and a P2S. I'm really hoping Bamboo patents pan out. A Bamboo Lab tool changer would be really nice. Me too, man. I would buy it. I'm kind of saving. I've told a lot of people, like, I don't usually take money out of the channel, but kind of want to go on some vacations and stuff. So I'm hoping that I still have enough to buy it, just flat out. Well, the i8 doesn't have a filament cutter like the Cobra X. It's more of a dual color printers, but X2. Interesting. Um, yeah, I again, like it's a bed slinger. It's hard to. It's a $300 bed slinger or whatever the price is they're going to charge for it. It's hard to get excited. I saw they made a claim. Let's see. Hopefully, we don't get color smearing issues with those i8s. Yeah. New Bamboo Mini would be sweet. I run 10 K2 Plus and Pro. Great engineering filaments, a K2 Plus as well. 10K hours on a couple of them, and still putting in work. I've heard that if you get a good K2 Plus and the K2 Pro, they're excellent printers. Oh, what are you selling, bro? What do you mean? I sold my S1 Max already. I had that. Like I got that back in January, if that's what you're referring to. I sold it to a local guy. I had no contract for it, so the A1 combo has a second AMS port. I think it'll be eventually refreshed. I mean, they made it so it takes the AMS2, but yeah, I think you can hook up multiple AMS2s if I'm not mistaken, but maybe I am. 75 people in here this evening. What is up, everybody? We're planning on doing this every single Friday, guys. Also, I am planning out to put out a behind the scenes video if you are a member. So that's going to be one behind the scenes member video per month. It'll give you just like an upcoming, like, we're just going to walk through my setup, what I'm working on, what videos I have planned. They'll probably get more elaborate in the future, just one for now. Maybe I'll offer more to members. Eventually, I will have a Discord, but that's not set up yet. So, but it's something in the works. I'm hoping to get that set up next month. But it's only $4.99. Never plan to increase it. It's only just to build the community, give more of like a stable, source of income through YouTube. Eventually, it'll be on Patreon as well. You could do either or. Totally up to you guys if you're interested in supporting the channel. But by all means, it's not necessary. And I just appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out. So, yeah. S1 Max, a pre-production. I don't know. They sent it to me back in January. I used it. It didn't fit into my workflow anymore. I sold it. But it seemed fine. Like I said, mine was fine. What printers are you trying to get rid of? Right now, currently, the only printers I have to get rid of is a Cobra 3 Max and the original Centauri Carbon with canvas. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's just taking up space. I don't use it enough. Yeah. Can we get a mini Core One Bamboo Lab XY, or is that dumb? Hey, there's some Chinese brands that were selling those. Dude, yeah, a mini Core XY would sell like crazy. Are you like a 200 by 200 A1, like Core XY? You're saying? I think actually from Bamboo Lab that might do decent. How's your Qidi 4 Max? They never send me the Qidi 4 Max. I only have the Qidi 5 Plus, which it's been great, honestly. Should I pull the trigger on the H2C or would I wait? If you can wait, I would honestly wait until like December, and if they don't come out with it, but if you're gonna plan on getting both machines anyway, then there's no hurt. $15 for both machines, take it or leave it. Honestly, I might take that just for the Cobra 3 Max because I think it had a homing issue and I don't want to fix it. You'll pay shipping from Baltimore if I just ship it to you. Yeah, I don't feel like putting that in a box, honestly. I would donate it, I think, before shipping it. H2C so overpriced. Hey man, they're running some back to school sales. Bamboo Lab is right now. I saw that the P1S is at the lowest price ever on the P1S. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I know I'm not showing my screen, but wait a minute. Oh, never mind. What was I think the H2C AMS combo is 2200, which is 200 less, but you can get the Ultimate Vortec combo. I don't know if that comes with. Oh yeah, you get an extra AMS and hot ends and the filament track switch for 2400. So this is like the type of stuff that's going on sale where it's like, to me that says like I do think that other printer is coming. Um and then the P1S going down to 370, I think I saw it for. Yeah, 369. Like that just tells me that they're getting even lower pricing. The P1S is, or the P2S is probably going to go down. Also, they have a student discount now, which I'm a little salty about. Oh, that's only on P2 series printers. 8% on H series. Okay, yeah, I'm a little salty. I could have gotten that when I bought my H2S like or something a while back, but yeah, anyway. Let's go back. I want a chamber heater on my mini core. H2C is so overpriced. I have two Centauri Carbon, one canvas in the mail. X1C, X, Anycubic X. I think you mean Cobra X, and the Cheaty 4 Max. Have money saved up for a tool changer. One in Snapmaker U1 day one. Should I wait to see? I would wait. I would wait to see what's available till Christmas if you can. I bought the Cobra 3 Max when it came out, and man, the nozzles were badly designed. Yeah, I haven't used it since like my initial review. Sadly. I don't know. Like, guys, I understand like content creators should probably like use machines, but you got to understand there's also the space limitation. I'm only in my garage. Like, I can't. I like if I kept every machine that companies sent me, I would not. I left this on a comment on a TikTok. Like, I would not be able to turn around. Like, if I kept every machine and took every machine, the amount of machines you get offered that are not even 3D printers when you're a 3D print content creating channel, like you get offered lasers. I got offered an apparel printer like recently, and I'm like, guys, I don't think I can make an apparel printer work on my channel. Like I don't know how. I would have to frame it as something completely and totally different. Do you think they'll ever stop making the P1S? Yeah, eventually. I do. My theory is that the P2S is going to take over the P1S eventually. H2D went down in price after the anniversary sale. It was before this back to school sale, so I think it's just the new price. Yeah, I agree. The H2D is way better price now, permanently, and I think the H2C this 2200 is going to be the permanent price. I got a bunch of nozzles through the sale. Yeah, it's always a good time to pick up nozzles and then filaments. Like if you bulk buy, it's not too much of a difference. The local micro center near me had a recent call with the Bamboo Lab reps, and they said some good stuff is coming. That's all they could tell me. They said they will be carrying more of the Bamboo Lab stuff. Is that a hint towards the H2X or H2, whatever they're calling it? I'll let you keep it at my house. I just got my Solval Zero running again. That sounds like it was probably some work. I didn't say anything though. Hey man, I don't know. I dude, Bamboo Lab is very predictable when they come out with stuff. You guys, like everyone always says, "No, no." They tell me I'm wrong, and I'm like, "You guys realize Bamboo Lab foreshadows their stuff like months in advance?" But also, they could have been talking about the laser. But does Micro Center even carry lasers? So that would be interesting. I feel like lasers are one of those things that stores don't want they don't want that liability to burn someone's house down. No problem, Timothy. I read an article this morning, Bamboo getting into the UV printing game. Did you see? Yes, I did see that. That they were hiring resin engineers. Is that what you're talking about? Where they were about like UV resin and stuff like that. That does also I'm not sure. So there was a rumor a while back as well that they were already hiring UV engineers, but I'm not sure if that means that they're coming out with a resin printer or a UV printer because they're both still UV. So it could be both even. Like if they come out with a UV printer it doesn't really make sense why they would stop there and they wouldn't make also a resin printer. Like, I do think they can compete with Hay Gears. Take over your dining room. I'm sure the wife will understand. Seriously though, what about a basement? I'm in Arizona. We don't really have basements here. All I have is garage. And so my next house, if you guys follow the channel, subscribe, you hit the like button on this video. I'm only seeing 8 likes. What is that? I'm sure there's more. Um, but if you guys follow, you subscribe if you're new, like guys, like you might make it possible for me to have I like one day do this full time, you know? And you know what? I am so glad that you guys are all here because this is awesome. We have 60 plus people here, almost 70. Like, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. It's making this stuff like so fun to do, so fun to talk to you guys about because obviously I bore my wife with laser 3D printer talk, CNC stuff. Like, she's like, "What are you talking about, dude? I need you to go talk to your other friends." I'm like, "What friends? What friends?" Anyway, guys, so if I ever went full time, I would definitely even stream more. So, I just don't have time. You know, you work 40 hours a week. I got to go in the office 3, 4 days a week, or 2 or 3 times a week. But yeah, anyway, I was going with that is eventually we do want to move before our daughter starts school. I mean, she's only 1 now, so we got some time, but I definitely 3-car garage or like a workshop dedicated spot, a little more land, probably moving out of the city type thing where I don't want to move too far. I still want to be like 30 minutes away from the city, but yeah. Anyway, definitely in the works eventually. I have a P2S. Want to get a second one. Thinking about an X2D. What is your opinion on paying more for the X2D? So, it it depends on are you ever going to print engineering filaments or ABS, ASA? I think for $100 extra, just get the X2D for the heater. That alone is worth it because the Panda Breath is like over $100 or $100. So if you ever are going to consider uh those filaments, I would get the X2D. I don't have one. Again, I haven't used either one of those machines, but that's what I would do. Micro Center is carrying lasers now. Oh, okay. I haven't been to the Micro Center that opened here. So, yeah, anyway. Evening, y'all. Hey, what's up? It's Hoffy. What's up, guys? What you guys got for me this evening? Ask any questions. I'm an open book, whether it's about content, 3D printing, lasers, deals, videos you want to see, where the channel's going in the future. Like I said, we're here to talk about everything and anything that you want. I think last week we ended up talking about barbecue. If you want to talk about some of the new Bambu Lab patents, do you want to talk about Bondtech Index? Do you want to talk about what do you guys want to talk about this evening? X2D, get that filament track switch to AMS and run a high precision nozzle calibration. Runs like a champ, even with the auxiliary nozzle. That's pretty sick. Mike, where is that micro center? I haven't been either. It's probably closer to you than it is to me. I forgot where it's at. East Thomas Road. That's where it's at. And I know a lot of. I mean, Micro Center. I feel like it was like busy for a while. But yeah, it says East Thomas Road. 44th Street. You would Google that? It says Micro Center, East Thomas Road, 4631 East. Thomas. Scummy. Any word on Elegoo tool changers? Okay, so we did cover that where it was like that flying saucer plate. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if let me be very clear. I don't think this is actually going to be a real product. Let me see if I can pull up the patent. I still have it. And we can get into that. All right. So hold on. Preview. Okay. All right. So this is the. Can you guys see this? I'm using studio mode in OBS for the first time. I think. Hold on. I guess I could just check my own stream, but I always forget, and now I need to bring over the chat. All right, let's play this. Okay, yeah, we're on the screen. All right. So it worked. Anyway, this is what Elegoo had a patent for earlier this year. So this was actually issued the 5th of May or the 26th of May for this like flying saucer deal that they got going. What were your thoughts on the new FlashForge dryer? I don't know, honestly. I love Micro Center. I got my H2D through them. Extended warranty. I'm glad I did. I'm on my 4th now. Dang. They're in their own world with an emoji CC2. Yes. The Elegoo's tool changer is just more emojis. Hey, Mike, I hope you're doing well. Hey, I appreciate that, Supermanny. I am. Hopefully you are doing well as well. This thing is just not it. Yeah, like this thing is crazy, guys. Like, yeah. All right. Like, what are I do not think that this is going to hit the market. Like, this is just ridiculous. Oh man. But hey, look, like it could be, it could be a real thing. You never know. Renovating my garage, just put a door in, spent the last couple of weeks putting out plywood, doing my own electrical vapor barrier installation. And I'm priming and painting tomorrow. 18. Dang, dude, that's a lot for 18. You should be proud of yourself. A bunch of unneeded weight. Yep. What do you think is worse, the i8 system or this abomination? Like, there's nothing there's nothing that could beat this. Okay, it still only has one path, like one PTFE tube, right? Like it I just don't know what's going on here. Just got here. Any word about the K3 Cleatech? They said Q3 release. No, only 1 month left. Surely we should start seeing reviews. If no, Creality did hit me up to work with them about the i8. I've explained earlier why I wouldn't, just because I don't want to support that. That they released the i7 in January, and then they're coming out with the i8 now. But nothing about the Cleatech. And okay, I do have some opinions about the Cleatech, guys. I was just also thinking about this today, and I got a lot of hot takes. Okay. But no new information yet on the Cleatech. But if any indication, usually it's the end of August for Creality releases. Crazy how this started because I want to make a motorized iron helmet, and now I'm renovating my garage. It's amazing what you can do when you're determined, agree, or just organized, because I am not. New to 3D printing, I started by making TPU drone parts, and now I'm working on a holster. Any tips for dialing in dimensional accuracy so the measurements match the dimensions that I modeled? you're going to want to 3D print it and see what kind of tolerances first that you have. It's probably just going to take some trial and error. And then once you get it dialed in with your specific printer and your specific PTU and stuff, or TPU. So you're probably going to have a couple failed prints, or that don't match the dimensions, because every printer is a little bit different. Imagine that thing swinging around. The VFAs will be crazy. Maybe a quick change nozzle size. What are the hot takes? LOL, just leaving us hanging. Okay, guys. Okay, I got a few hot takes on, and maybe they're not hot. Okay, maybe what's actually just transition over. Wait, oh, transition. Okay, I got a few hot takes. I don't know if it's really a few, but let's talk about the Cleatech for a second. Okay, so let me go to their page. All right, so talking about the Cleatech here for just un momento, okay? Or not un momento. That's one moment. What am I saying? Uh Talking about the Cleatech here for your second, okay? In my opinion, the Cleatech might already be outdated. All right? Now bear with me. Why do I think that? Okay? Like the Cleatech, right? There's nothing about the Cleatech that you can't already get on the market. Okay, and what do I mean by that? I'm really just saying that because y- it's four nozzles. They've already confirmed that the K3 is only four tools. You have the Snapmaker U1, you have the Creator 5 Pro, and the Creator 5. I just don't know that this is like going to what maybe I'm missing something, but what is this going to offer as far as the Cleatech that you can't already buy? If it's the K3, it's going to be the smaller printer. So what is that? I don't know. What are they? 260? So like I guess that's like where I'm going with this is like I was thinking about this today. I was like the Cleatech, because you have all these other nozzle changers and all these other tool changers that are teased, but the Cleatech is sitting here with four. Why would you buy it? Okay, so you say 4, 6, and 8, but they haven't actually confirmed the 6 and 8, I don't believe. Unless I'm wrong and I missed it somewhere. The K3, when it originally launches, is only going to have 4. Did I miss that somewhere? Because I think the only thing, the K3, I've been told, is going to have 4. And then they'll have a K3 Pro and they'll have a K3 Plus, essentially, which would offer more. That's what's been hinted at. But they've only confirmed the K3, right? Yeah, they keep hinting at it, but they haven't actually like all things, at least for me. Are they going to launch the K3 Pro with the K3 though? That's the thing. Because if they don't, I don't know. Right? If they don't launch the K3 with the K3 Pro or the K3 Pro and the K3 Plus at the same time, wouldn't you rather have the Snapmaker? Or no, is this going to be, like let me know what you guys think. Like they can tease it, but like they haven't confirmed anything, right? So I I don't know. What are we thinking? What like h- this is where I'm struggling, right? Like cuz like Creality has to compete on price. I think the Cleatech will be low cost in comparison. Okay, so that's a thing too. If we go to flagship and we go to the K2 and we go to buy now, Let's see here. It's $7.99 with the CFS version. So oh, that was the K2 Pro actually, sorry. Okay, K2 okay, K2 combo is actually pretty cheap. I messed that up. TPU, CFS for filament run out. Yeah, but that's all stuff the Snapmaker U1 has. Is there a micro center in Florida? I don't know. Also with the tool changer stage going on, do you think we'll get more filament recyclers as well? What are your thoughts on Amazon third-party filament recycler? I don't know anything about the third-party filament recycler. But I just think that filament recyclers are going to take up too much space. I don't think everyone's going to have space. How about they compete on reliability? It's too confusing for us seasoned vets. Okay, Silver, U1 has a CFS. Actually, technically, you can hook up using Sidecar. You can do a CFS if you because it's open sourced, right? But the K2, okay, so if they have a CFS, right? But just say K2 comp. Like this is so confusing. Like with okay, so with the CFS, this is $549. Okay, I really wish they would change this title. Okay, $549, 260 by 260. So, how, is the Cleatech going to be $549? Probably not, right? Like, I just I just don't I just don't think that they're going to give you a Cleatech for $549. If they come in and it's $700, I think okay, that makes a lot more sense. 260 Flash Forge price. I do think that makes sense. But if they don't come in at like $700, uh, I just don't know. And if you're adding the CFSs, then you're purging, right? Then you're kind of defeating the purpose. But at least you're purging less. They hinted the name in the second model K3 and K3S, but the larger model is just speculation. Why would they call it K3S? My hot take is most people don't need a tool changer. Actually, I agree. I think people just want them. And it's nice. Miami, only one in Florida. I know because it's, oh, yeah. Actually, I got an email saying the prices are going up, which doesn't make any sense. Should be going down. On the Creality machines, is that what you're talking about? I you know, I'm just really confused about like Creality's direction, and they have so many products. It's just hard. Okay, if you're starting at the 1K with the with the Cleatech, it's just not. It's not going to sell like they think it is. That's not unless it's fully enclosed with, and it's not going to have the chamber heater, right? Like so, I don't think the K2 has like chamber heating or anything like that. So they're just not going to have like anything like that. Like it just doesn't make any sense. You have to go to the pro version, which the pro versions, let's just say the pro version has 6, right? For probably this $1,000, like $1,100 for the pro version minimum. And they were selling the pro version for over $1,000 when it first launched. Or I guess I shouldn't say selling. They were attempting to sell. Maybe they did sell them. But that makes more sense. If you have 6 on a 300Q build plate, at $1,100, that would make sense. But I think just launching with the K2 or the K3 with 4 originally is a mistake. Kevin said having a CFS would defeat the purpose of tool changers. I don't agree, but also agree if that makes any sense. It will need to have more than 4 nozzles and be the do-it-all machine for 1K plus. Isn't Sidecar not a product though? I keep seeing these things, a bunch of DIY. Working people want something. No, I agree, Silver. I 100% agree. That Sidecar is not really DIY. And I think that's why people stay away from Snapmaker. I think Snapmaker gets hurt and also helped by advertising and being more open. I do think if they closed their ecosystem, they could make it more polished. But at the same time, because it's not as polished, the normal everyday user is probably not going to buy the U1 like over a Bamboo Lab machine, even though they'll have more waste with a similar priced Bamboo Lab machine. Um, and Snapmaker Orca is just not as well designed, or it's not as fluid as Bamboo Studio at this point. Tool changers will be much better once multiple nozzles are supported. This is one of the things where Creality is promising someday in the future. Did they say that it's not going to be at launch? I don't think it, as far as speed is concerned. Yeah. Okay. So this is okay. So this is like the thing, right? Like I want competition, and I also would I I I would like to see companies attempt to be better, right? Like again, we were talking about it earlier. Creality is advertising like the Spark 8 when don't you think if they took all the money for research and development of the Spark 8 and put it into the Cleatech and launched all of these machines at one time, it would be so much better? Like they would be so much better off. And then let the i7 die down a little bit more. And then maybe next year around this time, you come out with the i8 because, okay, we do need a lower budget machine and kind of develop your ecosystem that way versus like, here's another machine, here's another machine. Like you're having a machine a month. It's just too much for like the regular user to keep up with. And then when you go to research which machine should I buy, like if I'm a new user and I go to their website and I say 3D printers and it says flagship series, I'm like, what? K1C, K1 Max, K2 Pro, K2 Plus, and then when you click on these, you have 3 other options. And then you have not only that, you have the Spark series, you have 4 different options here. Then you go to the Ender series and you have 4 different options here again. Then you go to the Hallett series, you're like, "Wait, what is a Hallett?" And then you go to Printer Combo and it offers all the same. It's like your brain just explodes. Like what like what where do you like where do you even go from here? I think they should get rid of the K1C. Why are we even producing these anymore? Like, did we make that much backstock that we have them still? Like, just cut it. Like, you're on the K2, you're going into the K3. Just cut it. Like K2 SE, force. Did we just copy Elegoo with the Centauri Carbon? Like, I just don't understand. Filament and dry out, run it, can maybe swap colors in the toolhead and the dock. And when I searched for K2 Plus CFS on my phone, I found it at 313. Yeah, that's definitely something I've noticed as well. I do think having a model for every niche in the industry is not smart. Like So I see all the time people will tell me, well, Bamboo Lab has so many different models. Like, okay, let's go to Bamboo Labs. Okay, you have H series, which is very clearly their flagship. And really you only can buy 3 of these, right? The H2D Pro, I think you actually have to like go to their something, and you have 1 X series, you have 2 P series and 3 A series. Like I don't know. At least they're kind of separated and they get gradually less expensive. So you have the H series, which is expensive. Then you have the X series. Then you have the P series. Then you have the A series. It's like they all look the same as well. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, appreciate you, D Floyd, for sending a membership. Should have some behind the scenes content coming this weekend. All right, let's go back in the chat, see what you guys got to say. Basically, I'm looking for an H2C alternative. Yeah, I mean, there is none. Missed an opportunity for the K2SO printer. Hey, yes, actually, they kind of did. To be honest, I don't really follow all the different product lines. Seems sloppy, but doesn't seem like anyone is coming out with an H2C plus AMS combo. Yeah, I think I read that earlier. I think Reality needs to consolidate things. That or have a date by each model so we can tell if there is a refresh. Yeah, well, 100%. I think a lot of these companies, I I think this is why Bamboo Lab is going to lasers now, right? I think if they come out with um the next H series flagship, like the H2X, they're done. They have something for every single category, and now they're moving on to lasers. I think they'll just stop selling some of these. Like they did say end of life for P1S. So when it's out, it's going to be out. I think they will stop manufacturing it within the next year or so. News at 5 a.m. Dang, that's why I miss it. What do you mean? I haven't been coming out with the news. I occasionally just release videos now. It's just a lot easier with the work life schedule, you know. So we I'm gonna do live streams every Friday night. Hopefully that stays consistent. And then we will also just occasionally, like when there's big stories or like I have a lot of stuff to cover and it builds up to 3 or 4 things, then yeah, then we'll release a video. Lights out for me. I got work at 5 a.m. We'll finish the video on break. Out, sir. Hey, have a good night. So yeah, so like there's like if you look at other brands as well, um like Elegoo's starting to run into the same issue. That there's a lot of brands that are just coming out. They're coming out with too much. So like actually, and AnyCubic has been a lot better about this. I think that was one of the main complaints with AnyCubic, but they've actually been a lot better about coming out with machines. But even then, if you look at this, let's transition. If you look at this is ridiculous. Like what am I even looking at? Like these they need to clean up their like Cobra S1, Cobra S1. Why do we have 2? Cobra 4, Cobra 4, Cobra X. Okay, I take it back. They haven't been better. S1 Max, S1. Like let's clean this up. And then you have another S1. So you have 3 S1s on the same page. This is what makes it so difficult for people to buy 3D printers. Like because they don't know what they're looking at. Like what's the difference? If you're going to explain to a beginner, what's the difference between this one, and this one? And then not only that, you call this one the S1 Max, and you have this one being the S1 Max. So like you have 5 printers essentially with the same name on one tab. Like, oh man. I thought it was just the P1P that was discontinued. No, actually, they announced the end of life for the P1S, but they didn't have plans to not sell it. That the X1C was straight discontinued with the P1P, and then they announced the end of life for the P1S, but I think they're continuing to support it until like 2029 or something. But they're still selling it. They still have a plan to wait. Was it the P1S that was end of life, or just the X1C and the P1P? Maybe it wasn't the P1S that was end of life, but I do think that will happen soon. And Sub with Artillery, they just died. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. They had the M1 or whatever that was supposed to be like coming and competing with everybody, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. Throw that on the wall and see what sticks mentality, pretty much. Creality has a 20 to 30 catalog. Their strategy is so confusing. Enter K1, 2, and now 3s, but let's also introduce the Spark X series to copy the A1, also the Cobra X, while also releasing the Creality High. Yeah. I feel like one model will I feel like all of the one models will be replaced. Yeah, eventually, wise. They will. And that's just Anycubic's FDM printers and Creality's FDM printers. You know, they also have resin printers and they also have lasers. Well, or Anycubic doesn't, but all right. So my uh, Creality can't win the polish game like Bamboo Lab, so they win the coverage. Okay, so why? Okay, why can't Creality win the polish game? It's because they 100% can, but they refuse to acknowledge that they are wrong. They refuse. Like, guys, like these companies try to control, and they think the best idea for advertising and marketing is that they control everything you see. So if you go to a Spark video, it has 250,000 views and like 1,000 likes, that's not realistic, right? You should have way more likes on that video. Okay? So like they're paying for promotion there. They don't just these companies have marketing advertising figured in. They should just be sending a printer to every content creator, and if it's good, you stand by your product. You shouldn't sit here and try to control everything that people say. And people like to say that Bamboo Lab is controlling what content creators say, what they do, what they post. Guys, I have spoken to some content creators. Like, that is not true. Like, I don't even work with them, guys. Like, they are not controlling what people say. And that's the thing, is like, they don't need to. They stand by their product. Let's see here. I feel like all the one models. Oh yeah, I read that. Creality can't win the polish game like Bamboo. Oh yeah, wait, that's right. That sent me on that tangent. Uh they couldn't figure out an AMS system and died in R&D, it seems. Yeah, Ender 3 mentality, make the platform and let the consumer play. Pretty much, right? Like so, but here's it's so crazy. It's not like rocket science to compete against Bamboo Lab. It is literally just standing by your product, investing in the software and the user experience. And if you provide all of those things, you will take some market share. It's so crazy to me. Like, I just, ah. What they're doing is classic Shenzhen hardware playbook. Put a SKU on every price and shelf slot and use crowdfunding to test demand with zero inventory risk. Ship fast and let the market pay. Yeah, because I also heard that they're crowdfunding the Spark. Like, okay, so clearly it wasn't ready to go. Clearly, it was supposed to be released next year. Like, oh my goodness. Like, man, it is I just don't understand it. But it it, it is what it is, I guess. Like, it's all right. Outside of Creality too, there's just other and I don't know. Some of the stuff that gets said and it's covered and the way it's covered is just crazy. So the other thing that really gets me right now that's currently going on is that whole Bondtech index and how it's being pushed as like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And look, I still can't get over the pricing. I can't get over how they gaslit so many of their customers with the hardened steel nozzles, the refunds, the way it's been botched. If Bamboo Lab did that, guys, it would be crazy. Yeah, Creality just wants to seem like they are still on the open source side by giving the user. Yeah, Creality's not. They take a really long time uh to actually release the source code for the K2 Plus. Everyone is using crowdfunding slash Kickstarter except for one brand. There is one brand that has only used it one time for crowdfunding and Kickstarter, right? I could see Bamboo Lab doing crowdfunding for the R1, but I don't know that they will. I don't think they will. All right, what else you guys got for me? What other topics do we want to discuss tonight? Again, guys, if you're interested, the membership is there for $4.99 a month. I'm only pushing it harder now because I'm actually going to start trying to really give some members some more content. Of course, we're trying to push just make a push, right? Build a community. You don't have to hit the membership button or anything like that. All my content in general, the main content is always going to be free. It's really for behind the scenes. I'm going to give you guys a look at what videos are coming soon. So kind of lay out a schedule once a month for what you can expect on the channel, what things I'm working on, things like that. So it just really helps out. It supports the channel. Ultimately, at the end of the day, my goal is to retire my wife. I want my wife not to have to work, not, stay home with the kids if we ever have a second kid, or when we have a second kid, stay home with the current kid. It's a lot right now to do that. But outside of that, again, nothing is needed. We are going to be live streaming every single Friday night. Unless something comes up that I can't, but I'll start scheduling it early in the Friday so that way it gives you guys a little bit of a reminder that it's coming soon. Of course, we're going to have other content, everything like that. So I just appreciate you guys being here, hanging out. The best way to help out the channel and get us in front of more people is hitting that like button on every video that you watch, right? Watching till the very end and subscribing and doing all that, leaving comments on what you like, what you don't like, all that jazz. So I appreciate you guys all being here. Do you think Bamboo will start working on a tool changer? Yes, Draven. So they have patented some tool changing stuff. I do think that printer is going to come later this year. I have a couple videos on it you can check out. But yes, I do think they're currently actively working on a tool changer. What is the R1? It's Hoffy. It is Bamboo Labs' latest product release, or what they're going to be releasing. Let's bring up OBS. Let's transition. This is their teaser for it. Well, I think it's here. Yep. This is their teaser. So they are releasing a laser. It does say a laser and cutter. So it's not clear if it's going to be a diode laser, which technically this laser would be blue if it was indicating a diode. CO2 actually wouldn't have a laser. So that's why It could be a CO2 as well. It's not really clear what kind of laser that they're going to be doing. Favorite filament and brand. I use a lot of Sunlu for PLA, Bamboo Lab for PLA. Bamboo Lab's starting to become my go-to where I'm just gonna buy every color of Bamboo Lab. It's just solid, cheap if you buy in bulk. But Sunlu, I've been using Overture PET G and Bamboo Lab ABS ASA. And I've worked with Inslogic and they sent me a lot of ASA. It was good stuff. What's the R1 look like? We just covered that a little bit. Bondtech lost me when they showed the tech off on a Voron and they basically gifted all their manufacturing capacity to Prusa. Kind of understand. Which was my first printer? So my very first 3D printer was actually the Photon Mono 4K, the resin printer from Anycubic. I learned a lot very quickly about resin printing. So I actually started in resin printing, guys. The other thing is my first FDM printer was the CRS 10 Pro V2, was a giant POS. Best Decedent pouch. I don't use them, so I don't know. I don't ever try my filament. I was looking at Snapmaker, but I really like how user friendly the Bamboo Lab is. That is my thing. Second, third, and fourth kid. Let's be ambitious. No thanks. No, I think we stop at 2. Yeah. So I think if we have another kid, it'll be a 2 and done. Love Inslogic Pet G lately. When in stock, $12 a roll if you buy 10 rolls. Huh. Maybe I should ask them about their Pet G. I'm sure they would send me some. Yeah, pretty much, hobby. I live in the desiccant pouch, right? Like I don't need any of that extra stuff. Although we do have a certain cabinet sitting in my hallway, if you guys know what I'm talking about, which some people have already shown off on YouTube, and I'm a little bit confused because I was told a different embargo date. So I'm gonna stick by what I was told. But what can you do? That's one of the things that's sometimes annoying in content. So you always want to be the first, but 2 kids mean we are below replacement. I guess that's true. But we're not like the couples that don't have any kids now. I read somewhere that Inslogic and Sunlu equals the same. They are sister companies. I can confirm that. Like that, I've worked with both companies basically. So, and they told me that specifically, straight from the horse's mouth. We got 45 likes on this video, guys. We got to get the likes up, guys. Come on. We got to get the likes up, okay? We only have 45 likes, 60 people watching. What is this nonsense? You like the i10? Who said I had that? All right, couple commenting. Guys, remember to ask your questions. I read every single comment that's going through the chat. I'll do my very best to answer them. Sometimes it'll be detailed, sometimes it'll be a little bit more brief. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We're going to be streaming for probably quite a little bit here. And yeah, so I do my best to answer anything. Yeah. I like the try out the Best Buy brand. I have not tried out the Best Buy filament yet. The Insignia, I believe. I have not tried it out. Uh, those others make it even worse. Okay, what are your thoughts on the A1? The A1 is the printer that got me into doing everything again. Like it made me fall back in love with 3D printing. It was so easy. I printed most of my Battle Droid on the A1 and the Centauri Carbon one. That printer, Again, it was just so easy to get back into 3D printing with the A1. The A1 will always have a special place in my heart. It is still like one of my favorite 3D printers. However, I hate the AMS Lite. That's it. That's all I got to say. I know some people don't have issues with it, but mine just seems like the motors aren't as strong. We actually got monsoon this season, so I had to take care of all my filament in the garage because we have a humidity. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to use that cabinet for. I'm just going to put my ASA in there. That's not my ASA ABS in there. That's and some Pet G that is not fully used. So I was wondering and did the research. There are more than 40 printers in Creality's CR series. That is crazy. What's interesting is Snapmaker initially had the X-Tool logo on one of their U1 prototypes. If you find the original video that had a Pikachu print, and then they dropped it before launch. Yes, actually, I talked about this. I believe in one of my live streams as well prior, and a lot of people didn't know this, and I actually didn't know it as well until someone had brought it to my attention as well. That was a lot of as wells. But let's bring that up. So it is very interesting, and there's like this one single photo, the X Tool 3D printer, right? This is on Reddit. You can just search X Tool 3D printer, and it's a post by a user, and it's not AI or anything. This was posted over a year ago. X Tool. You can look back here. I guess you can't really zoom in, but it says X Tool here. It says X Tool here. Like they all had the X Tool label, and this also looks like some different UI. So it is very interesting to see, or it will be very interesting to see in the future. Does Xtool enter the FDM 3D printer market? And with Bambu Lab now stepping into their territory and kind of declaring war on them in the laser space, would Xtool do the same? This is, again, a very early prototype. There's a lot different about this here now than there was, but it does seem like one of them cut ties and then they went their separate road. And we'll never know why. Are you seeing a lot of connection troubles from the slicer to the C5 Pro? I'm seeing that a lot lately. I don't actively search them, and I don't have the C5 Pro. Um, yeah, and I sold my C5 locally as well. I just wasn't going to use it compared to my Snapmaker, so I did sell it after I tested it out and did all that stuff. I picked up some Insignia matte PLA black at 10.99 spool. Crazy good deal. Have yet to. I do think Best Buy Filament is Polymaker. I think JP is right on that. It's a white label basically where they just manufacture it and then they put their labeling on it for them. My A1 Mini is down now, likely because of the feeder motors in the AMS Lite. Yeah, I don't like the AMS Lite. That's been my only issue with the A1. I got some Pet G for 12 bucks. It is larger Snapmaker U1 with a larger screen and maybe 5 or 6 tools and better software would be flying off the shelves. Yeah, I do think if Snapmaker comes out with another U1, they have to give it more tools because they're falling behind now. Where we have all of these 8 toolhead 3D printers, while the Snapmaker 4 toolhead perfectly fine for where it launched in the market. I think now that we're getting all of these other Kickstarters, by the time they launch another 3D printer, it needs to be in stock and also offer more tools and be a bigger build plate volume. That's the thing is we're getting a lot of bigger build plates now. Like the Lightmake is huge. Even the Infomaker is 300 cubed for the 8 tool version. There's just so many other options that if they do come out with another one, they have to make it bigger, which they will come out with a bigger one eventually. It'll be business. I've been saying it's business malpractice if they do not come out with a bigger one. They will eventually. We just don't know when, of course, but that's my opinions on that. They will definitely come out with one. What are your thoughts on Bamboo using wait, What were your thoughts on Bamboo using on the A2L same PowerPoint's camera that came with the A1? Are you saying I don't know what you're saying. Are you saying like that the camera is the same? What are you saying there? We use Polymaker. I didn't get Pet G. I stocked up on Bamboo Pet G Basic and Pet G High Flow. Otherwise, I would have totally gone some. Best buys. Pet G Black 11.99 is a great deal if you can get it locally. Seems like a good deal. We use Polymaker. We use Polymaker at my work, and my friend will only buy that now. I told her Insignia was basically the same, and she didn't believe me. Yeah, Polymaker. I believe I also white label some other brands. I'm not sure what exactly, but I am getting to be an expert on taking the UN print head apart. I hate jams, and I just lost. Man, that sucks. Yeah, the same one FPS camera. I do wish that the A2L camera was better. It is really bad. If it is the same one as the A1, so I can see that, but at the same time, what are you really checking with the camera? Like usually I just make sure that the 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 print went down, it's good, and then you move on. Right? Like in my opinion, it's not a huge deal. It is a cost cutter. Um and that's why they don't add it because they want you to buy the upgraded version. Have you tried PCTG? I have not. Is that the newer filament that's starting to get more popular because it's cheap and it's strong? PCTG. That what's his name? Danson has been talking about. Dankin. I 100% agree about SnapMaker at this stage in 3D printing. I barely use my P2S because of my A2L and H2C's build volume. Yeah. So that's the thing is like one of my other hot takes is that Bamboo Lab is not behind whatsoever, right? And I'm thinking about doing a video on this. I was talking about this a little bit earlier, but I'm thinking about doing a video where it's talking about all these people, content creators and comments. Like they're saying that Bamboo Lab is falling behind. That could not be further from the truth. Because guess what? All of these products have been announced. They've been set up for Kickstarter pre-order. Okay? But you can't physically buy them. Outside of the XL, there's no tool changer nozzle changer on the market as big as the H2C. None whatsoever. The next biggest one outside of the X1 or the XL from Prusa, which is way more expensive, is the Snapmaker U1 at 270. So, like they still are the only printer doing exactly what they are doing, really, in that price range. So, it's not that Bamboo Lab is behind because when they announce a product, it's in stock. It's ready to go. So they skip all this advertising AI slop that's being advertised. Don't even get me started. Like there's one image I've shown multiple times that it drives me nuts. Some of you guys could probably even say it. What image drives me nuts right now in one of the Kickstarters? But like when they launch a product, they are in stock. They are not falling behind anybody. Um, let's go back here. Best Buy will have a 60th anniversary sale tomorrow. They're selling $100 gift cards for $60. Buy all their filament with it. Really? I had no idea about that. Does anyone still use Prusament? I think they have the best quality, but it's a little too pricey. I have never used Prusa anything. Have you talked about Creality Spark i8? They promise a 1 second color change. Yeah, I talked about the Spark 8 a little bit. I just don't want to be part of that one. They asked me if they could send me one, but it's a very quick turnaround that they wanted, like less than 3 weeks to publish a video. And by the time I get it and do all that, I think it was something like that. It was like they would ship. Yeah. Anyway, I just didn't wanna accept that, and I just don't like that the 7 came out in January, and not only that, it's also, like, on Indiegogo or something, so it's another crowdfunded thing for a major company. And Creality likes to control what you say, usually. Didn't the X-Tool U1 look way cooler than the actual? Yeah, there's, like, these silver plates. We had it pulled up in a second, and the UI looks like it could have potentially been better. I wonder if that deal is limited. Like, 100% agree. They know their market. Chicken butt, Mr. Rockup, Mr. Chicken Butt. You can get a bamboo printer locally or in a handful of days. Yep. Yes, it's better than PETG. You're talking about the PCTG, right? I'll have to look into it. A useful thing I stumbled on at Home Depot is a magnet that looks like a small push broom brush that is fully magnetic and often catch screws on the floor. Another tip is also to pull off your build plate when you're working on your 3D printer. So if screws fall, they'll hopefully magnetize to the build plate or the bed. Being able to buy Bamboo Lab from Best Buy is a very big thing in my mind. 100%. And now they're also in Targets some places. Target's Micro Center, which Micro Center carries a lot of brands, but yeah, I Best Buy is a huge get for Bamboo Lab, 100%. I did see the Flash Forge Creator 5 and made it to Best Buy and it's available. Oh, really? Flash Forge? Flash Forge? Oh, they do have the 60th anniversary sale going on right now. Flash Forge. Oh, yeah. Flash Forge Creator 5 is on Best Buy's website. Oh, someone said third party. Sold by a third party, so no warranty. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is sold by 3D Sky Inc. I put a microfiber cloth on my build plate when I need to take it apart. Why don't you just take your build plate off? Bamboo did it right. 1KS, shake the scene up. Yep, Kickstarter. And then use that capital to immediately make a replica for basic users. 100%. Let me go back up. Uh, I missed this comment. This comment says, wait, now I missed it again. Wait. Oh, well, the MakerTech Pro Forge 5 is bigger, a 500 by uses quality components in 5 tool heads, but it's crazy expensive, but worth it, I think. Yeah, I just don't know anything about them. You did take the build plate off and you dropped a small screw in a hole in the bottom. That's unfortunate. All right, what do we got, guys? What do we got? Okay. Ask your questions. Again, I read every single question in the chat, or at least I try to. We should have some behind the scenes member content only dropping this weekend as well. I plan on recording that and publishing it tomorrow. So if you are a member, you should get that tomorrow if you're interested. I'm working on the Discord still. Don't have that set up. Discord will be for members as well, just to kind of get more access to me. Again, you don't need to subscribe in any sort of way. All my main content is going to remain free. It'll only be behind the scenes and extra stuff. If you guys have any videos that you would like to see, let me know also in the comments and in the chat. But yeah, let me know. Good night, guys and gals. You heading out, Manny? Later. Do you think the sub STL files are sites are worth it? No. Like you gotta think about it. I think when you make any transaction when it comes to money, right? Uh why are they offering that to you? Because it's worth it for them to offer it to you. And so they feel they're getting their money's worth. So the question is, are you getting your money's worth? Is it something you really want that you can't get anywhere else? I think most of the STL file sites, a lot of times you can get that stuff elsewhere. It really just depends on what it is. Like Galactic Armory, I want Star Wars stuff. That's worth it to me. But like the general like STL flicks, like these other ones, I don't think so unless you're doing it just for like personal use and there's something you specifically want. If you guys get the Best Buy Total membership, anything you buy from Best Buy comes with a 2-year warranty. Got all my Bamboo Lab printers for there. Nice. What's your favorite engineering filament? I don't really print with too many engineering filaments. I do just use a lot of ABS, which is not really an engineering filament. Like all of the laced filaments, I don't really use too much. I do have some glass filled TPU. I need to figure out what to do with it. I thought about printing like the elbows of like an IG-88 droid or something. Maybe that would work. I'm just not sure if it's too stiff or if it would look decent. What's it like been starting a YouTube channel? Hey, Layer Shift. What's up, buddy? uh what's it like been starting a YouTube channel? Hey man, this last year and a half has been crazy. I've when I first started like when I first started the channel, I had no idea it would take off as quickly as it would. And I started with 400 subscribers or like 400 and like 5 or 10 or something like that because I was doing other like toy content, Funko Pops through my business that I was doing for like a Funko Pop stuff. And so I just randomly started posting me building my droid and it was like within 2 months I had 1,000 subscribers, which was crazy. And I got a text. But like, so it's just been really fun, like connecting with people with similar interests. And yeah, I mean, I like you guys supporting is obviously like why I can do this stuff, but I still like to do what I enjoy. And I'm hoping one day it takes over the full time job, man. Like I really do. That's my goal ultimately at the end of the day. I love making videos and I really, really do want to add like a Casey Neistat. If you guys have watched Life of Riza, if you guys have watched some of these really cinematic stuff, I would love to get good enough at videography to add that to like 3D prints videos and add it to 3D printing. I think that would be so fun and like give everybody a fresh set of eyes of like, hey, what can be done? Because I do think, and it's nothing against my content, seems a little lazy sometimes doing the news videos and like just list videos. I want to add like this creative flair. So I have watched probably 100 hours of just how to make cinematic videos. I really want to do it eventually. So lighting, everything like that, I want to get so much better. And if you've watched my first YouTube video to like my latest YouTube videos, as far as like camera quality, how I am on camera, I do think I'm a lot better. Where was that? Daniel Gang, you put a question mark. I'm not really sure. What you mean? Cheaty tool changer? Oh, you Cheaty tool changer question mark. Well, they just came out with the Cheaty 5 Plus, and so I don't know that they have one in the works. And I did a patent search. I didn't find anything. There you go, layer shift. Hey man, I appreciate it. I hope Creality makes an upgraded version of the Ender 3 V3KE instead of dude, that was so many letters. I love your Friday videos on the latest and greatest 3D printing news. Always rely on you to keep up to date. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Even though it's not every Friday anymore, but I still try to keep everybody up to date, because everyone has jobs. Like, you don't got time to, there's so much to sort through, and I miss stuff still. Like, yeah. And you know what? And I can't cheat. By the way, okay, this is also a hot take. This What do you guys I need your guys' honest opinion on this. Like, I, please. I just need an honest opinion. What do you guys think about the LLM content lately? And what do I mean that? Language learning model content, chat GPT scripts. What do you guys think about that? I have never I have never read a script for one of my videos ever. I It just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? I connected a Raspberry Pi to the 3v3 SD so I can run Clipper instead of Arm. Interesting. Sick. Basically, feel free to reach out. I have experience in audio video. Would love to help. Your content is great. Hey man, I appreciate that. Sometimes I might need it, man. Like the lighting, some of this lighting stuff I need to really get down. I'm trying to hammer down. I definitely need to like I have a window in this office. I think this office so you guys can it looks a little plainer. I don't know if it does. Maybe you guys can't tell, but I feel like it looks a little plainer than usual in here. But I'm actually right now taking everything down in this office and I'm going to paint it. I was hoping this weekend, but I have a few things that I have to get done this weekend that I don't know if I'll have time. But I am going to paint this a very, very dark blue. I have a color in mind so that way it kind of absorbs some of the light so I can control all the light in here and I bought a turntable for some of my 3D prints videos, so we can show it off and like this. I don't know. We'll get there. I think audio is also a big thing that I need to learn how to add better music for tones. I don't know. We'll see. Where was that? I struggle with scripts. Feels awkward. Dude, 100%. Scripts are so I feel like just give me a talking point and let me run. Like that's what I do. So the only thing I've ever done is like on my computer, I'll put like a tab for each product. I'll read through the products real quick before I start recording, and then I will just kind of go through or each news story, right? And then I'll just kind of go through. It just feels way more natural because then I'm telling you my true thoughts instead of what Chat GPT told me to say because it's more brand friendly or it's like all these different things that you have to think about. And it's so hard to watch people be monotone. And maybe it's not actually Chat GPT. They're just learning how to be on camera. I don't know. Lighting is tricky as hell. Yeah, dude. Lighting is I've learned so much about writing. AI is just automation or lighting, not writing. Uh AI is just automation. Yeah, it is basically just you have to know how to work it. Kind of though. I think it was well done. People would never notice it was AI. Yeah, if it was well done, there's some things in AI scripts you can tell right away. LLM is horrible. I hate it so much. AI slop online these days. There's isn't one day you can go on YouTube and there isn't an AI generated ad or video. I only use AI for my thumbnails, and I feel like you can tell, but it's helped my thumbnails. But that's the only thing about my stuff that's AI generated. And I'm just trying to get you guys here, honestly. So I'm not gonna say that I don't use AI, but I've also had people say they unsubscribe because I had an AI thumbnail. But I try to make it not look AI. I'm just not that good, and I was never gonna pay anybody anyway. And one time I did pay someone, and it was even worse than what I came up with. I turn off AI videos, no credibility. Like, are we talking you turn off AI videos, or as soon as you notice it's an AI script? Some good stuff in AI videos, stuff that would not get made otherwise. Sometimes. I think I'm more talking about like AI scripted videos. Like someone not like AI like a generated video because some of those Star Wars ones I find pretty funny, like the Stormtrooper tales or something like that. I'm more talking like a script that's AI generated. I feel like every time I've asked ChatGPT to give me ideas, it's like it's very similar and you can definitely tell. I don't watch them. It's better to have a few key points, talk about them off the top of your head because it's natural. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Keep focused on each channel or the algorithm may damage you. What do you mean? I'm gonna say like if you look at like my metrics, I mean, I have 16.4 thousand subscribers ish, give or take. And a lot of my videos do 10 to 20K. Like that's crazy in itself. Like a decent YouTube channel gets 10% of people to watch their videos. So I'm definitely in a growth area. But I think we're in the infancy of 3D printing content. Guys, if you want to make content right now on YouTube, I think 3D printing is one of the biggest areas of opportunity because there is not very many people who are making content and there's not very many people who are making super high quality content. It may seem like it, but like there's days I go by and I'm looking to watch videos in the 3D print space. There's just nothing. There's not. There's a lot of maker videos, but they're not consistently coming out. I think 3D printing in maker spaces, if you use 3D printing to solve problems, if you use 3D printing to make cool stuff, it's one of the biggest areas of opportunity. Even just showing off 3D prints of the month, those channels have grown so fast. Like, if you guys like Jet Li, he grew a ton. Williams Workshop grew a ton over the last year that they put out content. I enjoy their content. And it's just them being themselves. I mean, Jet is super funny, but like they have grown I think 3D printing has a huge opportunity if you're someone who wants to make content. Still don't know what the catch of AI. It's a powerful tool used right, basically free. Well, okay, so AI, in a business sense, they make a ton of money. So like in AI, like business wise, there's like these tokens that company use. So it's like a pay per use. So it's a little bit different versus like a consumer AI. Spoof camp music or Star Trek ones, hillbilly Star Trek. YouTube algorithm seems to wants a focused topic. I was not saying you were bad, just noting if you get into other things. Oh yeah, I mean eventually. The YouTube Ludwig talked about hiring thumbnail and video editor who suck. Said that's okay. They can learn to get better. Well, as you grow and better at making AI, better at making content. Yeah, it was just I made a better one when I thumbnail tested it, and honestly, it if you guys saw it, I think you would have agreed with me. But they were just from Fiverr. It wasn't like I went out and hired a professional, like a super professional. I think we just need more 3D printing videos that actually show more prints because that's kind of what matters. AI scripting didn't matter too much. Just don't make it zesty. Well, okay, so I guess like if if I did 3D printing news, but I entered it all in the ChatGPT and ChatGPT told me how to say it and how to present it, I think you guys would be able to tell a difference. Even though I'm good at it on camera, I or at least I think I'm good. Uh, I I think you guys would notice if I was reading a script. It no matter how I tried to, or even if I had some sort of like what do they call those things? Like where the script reads it. Um I mean sure you guys will tell me. But like even if I had that, like I just don't know that I don't think I could swing it as much. Yeah. Less videos of people talking about pure specs. Anyone can go to the website. Oh yeah, teleprompter. That is it, and read the specs. Yeah, and I think a lot of people have told me that the reason that they watch my content is that I don't sit here and I talk about tech specs. I talk about um, I relate it to the average person. You know, I relate it to Like, you don't want to know the super specs of something. You don't want to know like all these weird ins and outs of certain things. You want to know, does the thing work? Is it good? Am I going to be satisfied? What other things should I be know before I buy this thing? Like, I don't need to know how fast my coffee maker heats up the water, right? That's not something that you would base your purchase off of. But you would want to know, does it make good coffee, right? So the same thing with like 3D printers. Does your 3D printer make good prints? Does it put out coffee? Or as 3D Print Rancher would say, does my 3D printer make toast? I just want my toaster to make toast. I just want my 3D printer to do solid 3D prints. I agree. I want to start a channel on my farm. I run a farm of A1s combos and 85X. I feel like it's an open niche for people who talk 3D printing and business. Yeah, there's a few different ones like Dankin. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. And then Off the Bench made a whole YouTube channel. Well, you're probably not going to, if you focus on business only content, you're not going to grow at the rate that someone who makes entertainment content makes. But I do think there is also a niche there. And then you can make connections, and then you get in line with or you get like contacts. Like, I've spoke to people now that I never thought would be possible. Like, those are things I'll not like openly share, but like there's just opportunities I have gotten that I'm like, this is insane, right? Like, if you think about it now, just from me making content and spending I mean, I put a lot of time into this, right? It takes a lot of sacrifice, especially early on. Like, I'm not going to tell you it doesn't. I don't really have spare time. I spend time with my daughter and my wife sometimes, and like that's it. Like, I don't have any other hobbies now outside of YouTube. And so that's where I say, like, eventually, if it pays the bills, that's awesome because I would love like that to happen. But at the same time, I guess where I was going with this, I'm never going to buy my own 3D printer again unless it's from Bamboo Lab because I don't work with them. And so, but it just content has put me in this position. Yeah, JP, that's what I'm talking about. He started selling filament now. And he's shutting down. I watched a video recently of him. He's actually shutting down his farm to do filament. Also, just for one, I hope you abide by it. Don't let your sponsors control your guys' vids. No, and that's one thing. Like, I am working with Hey Gears. They told me we want to allow you creative control. So I pitched them an idea and they liked it. And that's what we're going to do. And they said the only thing that I need to send in the video for approval is for factual information only. And that's actually written. Okay. So spare time is a luxury, 100%. But I do feel like if I spare any time, I am wasting opportunity. If I'm sitting down, if I'm sitting down and I'm like playing video games, that's like an hour I could have been spending on YouTube content, or I could have been putting myself in a better position, right? I think my limitation right now to work with certain companies or demand what I believe I'm worth has been just my subscriber count, but that'll come in time. Yeah, JP, I don't know like his specifics, but it seemed like he was going to shut it down like next year. Not necessarily like fast. You would have to watch one of his videos that I saw him talking about it. Well, filament, if you think about it, it's just like there's pretty high margins on filament. Like, I think you can spool and do PLA for like less than $5. But you need the extrusion line, which the extrusion line is what, 50 to 100K. So it really just depends on where you're at. Doot, 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 doot. We know it's getting later into the night when we drop in viewership, but we'll stream for a little bit more, probably like 15 more minutes or 10 more minutes, and then we'll go from there. But again, we will be live at the same time next week, guys. So keep that in mind. We're gonna try to stream like 7:15 Arizona time every single Friday night. So we'll stay live for about another 10 minutes and then. Any thoughts on the Creality Cleatech? We did talk about it a little bit earlier. I do think it's going to be interesting. Um, yeah, I'm just worried that they're not going to have enough heads to start. Because if they launch the K3 with 4, then yeah, it's iffy. Like, because you have all these other releases. Yeah. So I do think it won't sell as good as people thought. Any news on the Palette 300? No, I think it's on hold indefinitely until they figure things out. Which I kind of saw that coming when you pay content creators, but you don't give them the printer. That's what happens. Part of the issue with this farm is he sold toys, and Amazon cracked down on requiring drop testing and more child certs. Uh, this year requiring drop testing and more child certs. Not saying he's making a mint though, but that's what happened to Amazon sellers. Interesting. I mean, that makes sense. I have always wondered that, like, what the risk with child toys being 3D printed would be. So it makes sense that Amazon cracked down. The Cleatech Commander. Oh yeah. Which, by the way, guys, Jordan Love came in one drive. It did excellent, and we are locked and ready for the NFL season to start. Okay. Maybe I should just live stream when we're watching the Packers. That'd be interesting. But then it would be on a delay. And I don't want it spoiled for me, for people who are watching on cable. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like button on this stream. We've been live for over 2 hours now. Crazy. And you know what? We're doing good as far as like this stream, okay? We are doing good. This has been a very successful stream. And again, we are going to continue live streaming every Friday. We have the members only content coming. We have Discords coming. Like, you know, I think we are working on some pretty exciting things, guys. We like this channel is going to I eventually I was talking about it, and I might have to hit Fabrico Joe up. We'll see if I can't figure it out myself. Uh, we are going to try to make this where you can come to my channel eventually one day, and maybe you'll click top 3D prints of the month or something. And you're going to think that you clicked a Netflix video. We are going to get there. That is what I'm really excited for. I might have to learn how to do some color correction, but we will get there. I've been watching 3D print videos for a little bit over a year now. I've been wanting to get into it, but not really sure if I should bite the bamboo bullet or wait and see if something comes out. Well, what's your budget, Nicholas? I can probably tell you if something would come out, but like what's your budget? Like what are you looking for? Do it, bro. Hit me up. I might. Sounds good, buddy. Sounds good, Joe. Jojo. All right, what you guys got for me? We got 54 concurrent viewers. What's the consensus on Infomec? They're an upcoming release of the MX6 and 8 head printers. Um They did release more pictures on that. Let me answer this one real quick for Nicholas, real quick, and then I'll bring it up on screen. Uh, if you can go 1,000 easy, are you looking for multicolor or are you looking to print engineering filaments? What are you looking to print, Nicholas? That's the big question that I have for everybody when you recommend a 3D printer. You really need to know what you plan on 3D printing, because if you want multicolored toys, if you want just an overall decent printer, there's like it's kind of different for every single person. So it really just depends on like what you plan on 3D printing. That's the thing. Is like if you don't like, yeah, I guess you know where I'm going with that. Like I you really just need to know like what you're 3D printing. All right, guys. So we actually have some new images of the Infomec too. We're gonna bring those on screen. This is actually from their Facebook group. So if you guys are in their Facebook group, you can see these images uh, that they posted today. Which I'm not gonna lie, the MX Pro is looking pretty sleek. Thousand Easy Kimura. By the way, someone that knows anybody at the brand Crease, an old Crease to mod? I've never heard of it. Toys to start out, but I feel like I'll end up wanting to be able to do more. Um, if you're doing toys and you're just doing flexies, if you're doing like a huge build plate full of them, I don't really think you need a tool changer. But you also have to think about like, are you going to use only 4 colors, right? Like, so there's a couple things. I mean, I would probably lean towards the X2D or maybe even 2 P1Ss. Um, I just don't think there's a tool changer right now that's so dominating that for $1,000 that I wouldn't be willing to wait and see, honestly. Because the 8 tools could really unlock some stuff for you. I'd love to see 100% 3D printed stop action animated full length motion picture. Jesus, that's a lot, buddy. Infomag live stream starts in 60 minutes. Oh, I'll probably be in bed. But they do those spools look smaller? The right spools look bigger than the left spools. Or is that TPU maybe? Maybe that's TPU. But we do have a couple images on the Infomec. We'll see if it ends up being good. So we have the normal version, the MX. This is the $250 version. Here's some interesting filament paths. Wait. Oh yeah, because it picked one up. So you have this one, and then the MX Pro. I'm wondering how this is going to work. Like this is very interesting to me. I don't know what it is, but this still it like the UI doesn't seem cheap. The screen seems not cheap, but the printer aesthetic itself just seems cheap. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know it is cheap, but yeah, these are looking good. That's what I'm saying. It's like uh, it's like it's so deceiving. Like it looks nice, but I know it's cheap. Yeah, yeah. The Is that a 350? No, this is a 300. It works fine when it was live streamed. I mean, the Atom Form also worked when it was live streamed, right? So, yeah, man, like, hmm. Make designs for teachers and nurses, functional items. I yeah, I mean, this is like it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad at all. No, they're definitely not holding that low of a price though. Also the size gap between these is crazy. But they're not they've already said that they're not even going to like honor everybody's. The back looked a little spaghetti-ish. Which one on the back looked a little spaghetti-ish? But they're not going to hold this price for all of them. I think even the $5 deposit holders, they said that not everybody's going to get the $250 and $499 price. And I think the regular retail price of this one is like $1,400 or something like that, which that's way too much. Um, but I like how this looks sleek. Like it does look spaghetti-ish, if that's what you're talking about. But I don't know how this would hold up. Like going in and out of that constantly being pulled by the tool head. It's an interesting design. Hey, what's up, Larson? You just got back. Oh, dang, after a tornado. Yeah, we've been live for a while, so not too much longer, but appreciate you tuning in. How do those tubes stretch for the MX Pro? It looks weird. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's the thing that I'm finding interesting too. Like how these are stretching. Maybe we'll find out in 60 minutes. Apparently, they're doing a live stream. Yeah. I do not know if the nozzles are hardened steel or not. If they are, even a cheap Chinese brand is doing more than Bondtech. I okay, you said JK, but like that's actually serious at this point. So yeah, I mean, bro, Larson, you didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate it. You were gifting subs last time. And everyone's going to get some members only content this weekend. So just in time for the members only content. Either tomorrow or maybe late tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to give a sneak peek of what's coming to the channel soon. So it'll just be like probably like a 15, 20-minute video giving some behind the scenes. Should I get an X2D or a Snapmaker U1 as a complete beginner? I would get the X2D. I think the X2D, I would get the X2D. So believe it or not, I think the X2D is a little bit more future proof because a you have like the heater. I don't have the X2D, so I have the Snapmaker, but I think it's a little bit more future proof because you get a heater. See, Larson will say get the U1, but I don't think he's a Bamboo fan, right? I think the X2D offers a little bit more, but if you're gonna, it depends on what filaments you're gonna print. If you ever go into engineering filaments, I do think that the X2D is a little bit better. But also keep in mind, you do not get hardened steel nozzles out of the box, though. See, now Brad had problems. Like you don't have. Okay, you do. Okay, you like Bamboo. Okay, but you don't get hardened steel nozzles out of the box with the U1. So if you're printing like any abrasives, you got to keep that in mind as well. Yeah, I do agree that H2C is probably the best printer. I think the H2C is I mean, I haven't used one, but it seems to me like the H2C is the best printer on the market right now, considering everything. 3D printing is the one where you kind of get what you pay for. So what are we thinking on these guys? Do these images make you a little bit more inclined to pay for this thing? Yeah, Brad, having too many brands is definitely a problem. I would say, especially if you're like me and you have all these companies, and it's like, I just don't like switching my slicers. Yeah, K4. I agree. It depends on your use case. Know how far the MX Pro is from the wall? Is it? It seems like it's the same. The MX, or you, the MX just seems like it's further because it's smaller. What got me into 3D printing in the first place? Um, I just wanted to build giant Star Wars props. Honestly, I had a lot of hot toys. It was too much money. You could keep buying hot toys. I just wanted to be a little bit more creative, and so I built a giant battle droid. That's why. Hey, appreciate it, J Man. Enjoy your night. Not buying more now. I'm a 5 slicers. Also, I'm in the pre-order for these, but I dropped my M1D reservation. Starting to regret it, but I really need to batten down the hatches a bit after the storm. I don't know that. I think when it's all said and done, the M1D. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. The PTFE tubes are long from the back. I'm more curious about these white ones, like how this is working. I'm a little bit more curious, like how this is working. Like these look like a different color right here, and then this is white. So like, is it a? Yeah, I'm a little curious. If I wasn't on a far small country, I'd already have paid the Kickstarter for the M1D. Is that what you're saying? I reserved the MX also. The R2D model that you screwed out was awesome for me. Going to print it out. I still need to do the R5. I definitely want to do that. Just in case. Yeah. Hmm. Part of me wants to reserve one, but like realistically, am I going to need to? Hey, Larson, don't judge me. I don't have anything going right now because, well, to be fair, I started this live stream. Hey, appreciate it, Raven. Have a good night. You have to watch the video from 2 months ago. You'll see which one. Are you talking about the? Are you talking about the MX? Yeah, it does look like the PTFE tubes retract somehow. I'm sure they'll give you more. Apparently, there's a live stream coming up for Infomec. Ah, man, that sucks, Larson. From the storm. Yeah, like, I, yeah, this is some interesting, like, Infomax MX Pro 3D printer live printing line. Oh, okay. Let me I'll switch over. Let me search for that. Uh, I'm getting better at live streaming, buddies, because we can actually switch over and stuff and not reveal information I'm not supposed to. Uh, Video is private from that link. Let's try this. Infomec streamed 8 days ago. They had a stream 8 days ago. Streamed 2 months ago. Okay, let me go back to that. Video. Oh, wait. No, there we go. It looks a little bit different, though. Doesn't this look a little bit different? Maybe not. That's the MX. I'm more interested in the MX Pro, guys. Like, oh my God. I think I missed it. Huh. It's like a bungee cord back there. If I start a print on stream right now, what should I print? I would have to figure out how to stream my slicer. I can't move my camera right now, unfortunately. I need to figure that out. I'm gonna eventually get a better setup. Like eventually on this. Oh, what the? Uh, huh. Okay, that's not. That's so what the? Huh. That's so. This is very interesting. It also looks like a super mess back here, like with this pro version. Like it kind of looks like the underneath of your kitchen sink, right? I can show videos. What you mean? Like, are you saying my 3D prints? Yeah, it's just like I have it where it shows the Google Chrome window on OBS. I need to figure things out. It looks like it'll yank itself out over time. My question would be, uh, are these actually PTFE tubes? Also, wouldn't they wear on this metal? Like spring pulls it back. I wonder if it extrudes Coke Zero. Hey man, I drink a lot of Coke Zero. The spring on the PTFE tubes give me anxiety. Are they springs or are they just kind of like I'm telling you, this looks like the bottom of a kitchen sink. Doesn't look like the typical. Yeah, it doesn't look like typical PTFE tubing. It looks like the fish tubing, like the clear. Just the connection on the top of the extruder looks janky. Yeah, that's a pretty harsh. But since the filament's already in there, I don't think it matters. Since it's already able to pull it. Here. Okay, I'll give you one gift membership if you show the next print you're doing in Chrome. I'd have to look. It's interesting spring system. Those are for sure springs. That's how it retracts. Okay. Looks like springs to me. The tension on extended. See the first spring, how tight the coil is. All right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, it's tight because this one's in motion. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I got you guys. It's springs. Okay. But okay. So I don't know. Doesn't this just seem like these springs are going to become tangled? Like I really hope like is I'll be curious like how I'm just very curious like how this holds up over time. Like they can show it printing on stream, but if it's not really like I don't know, over the course of 10 hours is one of these going to like get tangled? Yeah, the 30-second buffer, I don't know how to get rid of that. Is there a way that I can eliminate like a 30-second buffer on the chat? Like it's not very instant, but I think that's just typical with streaming. I don't know. Unless you're saying like there's something else going on. I think there was other stuff that was said that I missed. Hey Gears or Mofo. I did miss that. Hey Gears or Morpho JP. I don't really have an opinion on that yet for the UV printers. My UV make went from printing mode to nothing for 12 days. I am probably hosed. I think my machine might be toast. You're not supposed to let the machine sit. Uh no, it's YouTube. What do you mean it's YouTube? Oh yeah, like I see. I see what you mean, Jeff. Did you know the print heads on the UV printers are disposable? Most of the print heads, I think, like the 3200 cost like $1,300 for the Hay Gear. So actually, $500 is kind of cheap. I think they actually do, or maybe the Hay Gears, the cheaper one is like 300. I don't know, but yeah, I do know that they don't. The Hay Gears, I think, estimated 3 to 12 months for one of them. I'll be modding the normal way up and over and down. Yeah, like I think there needs to be some sort of buffer on the back of this, but it is Kickstarter, so keep in mind that they could change things. I just feel like the springs would get tangled. Like this is just very interesting. I'm glad you mentioned this. Is the Prusa Core 1 index already behind? Yes. In terms of price and what they don't have hardened steel nozzles. And that's not even a joke. Sorry. Okay, let's see. What should I print next, guys? Because Larson was talking about it too. I do need some more prints for my prints of the month. Like I just try to find stuff that was trending. I'll show you guys something that we talked about in one of the streams. I actually did print this. So I ordered a puck light. And we are printing this, or I already printed it. So I do need to get a puck light for the inside. I showed that off. I printed. Oh, I am also printing this. This is pretty cool. I already printed that. I just need to put it together. Oh yeah, I am going to I think print these. This is more okay. Pretty. I think I'm going to put them on my workbench. I don't know, just a few things. Those are a few things that are going to be in my video. But anyway, back to the Infomec. If you guys have any ideas, oh my god. And now I can't find my chat window. I mean, modding. They just offered a full return refund or $120 cash back on the index, and I'm thinking of doing a return. Yeah, I think the cashback option was lackluster. My puck light arrives in 5 days. Oh, you actually have a you ordered a puck light too? Pretty huge lightsaber? Maybe. I mean, this would be interesting. Hey, you followed through. Appreciate you, Larson. Um, how would they get tangled? The PTF tube. I'm not talking about the PTFE tube getting tangled. I'm talking about the springs like interlocking with each other. So that's more so like what I would be worried about. Is like something with that like interlocks, and then that's what I'm talking about when it comes to a tangle. Is that these interlocked from retracting, and then they get tangled that way potentially. Those springs already look tangled. I mean, they're tangled in the like rope sense. They're not tangled in like the what I mean by like okay, maybe they get attached to each other. But then I guess like even if they got attached to each other, would that actually cause an issue? You know, it might not actually cause anything because the tubing would still be able to go through. But also like we're saying, this is not like your typical clouded white PTFE tubing. This is something else. Hey, you just got to start the content, Larson. So, hmm, like this just looks so sloppy, but also if it's functional, look at all that trash back there, right? Like, what are we thinking? What else? What else? Like, huh? Oh, is that a side poop chute? Is that a side poop chute? As long as the ends of the springs, it won't interlock. All right. 2 hours with powwow, so we'll do it. All right, Larson. Um, so they do have a side poop chute. They have a pretty solid LED bar here. This is new. We've never seen this. So they have put a decent. And it looks like the other one has a back poop chute, which makes sense because the spools. But the spools are here. Yeah, there's gonna be 1,000 options or pre-orders, but we'll see. I bet they're running late. They just put everything together without checking. The LED bar is a nice addition. Yeah. This is it. And then guys, if you're just tuning into the stream, we were looking at also the Infomec put out some new images in their store, and we're all talking like they do seem like I mean, everything's looking good. At the end of the day, I think with this machine it's gonna come down to software. Right? Does the software work? The printer next to it is single nozzle. Uh that's a good call out, actually. Yeah, it is. Hmm. Another LED bar on that side. I feel like that's overkill, but no dark spots. I'm printing everything you can right now, so there's yeah. Infomec doing a live stream in about 30 minutes, so hopefully I have more details. They're both single and both single with additional tool heads. Huh. Okay. Yeah. I guess like if they have EX and TX printers. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. They will sell for $50 calling it now. Some of the newer ones have dual or 4 running tool heads. They did do a live stream also. Oh, this one's in 30 minutes. So like you guys were saying, live demo. This one was streamed 8 days ago. It's just the MX. All right. I mean, not too bad. I mean, I guess we'll see in 30 minutes, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to stay up for that. So that's on the Infomec YouTube page. Just search Infomec on YouTube, and it's happening at 10:30. You can go to their live. Yeah, I did see they were reviewed by Aurora Tech as well, and she said they weren't too bad. So just average Jeff. It wasn't this one. It was just a different one. It was like their TX, I think, or something that was on Aurora Tech's. So, but with that being said, guys, I think it's probably time to hop off here. We've been streaming for like 2.5 hours, and I really appreciate everybody for coming out. We had a lot of good discussion. Every Friday night, too, I think we're going to start streaming just until we get tired, right? Maybe like 2.5 hours. This is a 2-hour and 42-minute stream as of right now. Insane. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody for gifted members. Like I said, I should be working on just like that behind the scenes content, just giving you guys an update on what's coming out. As far as like we'll walk through my current setup in the office, what I'm working on in my garage. It's a disaster in there right now. But it's some cool stuff. We'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. So have a good night, everybody. Till next time, make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and we'll see you guys next Friday live.